Ahoy hoy internet, it is Ian, and welcome to the inaugural first episode of Ian Talks About Stuff. Today is Friday, February 22nd, and it is cold as balls out. Hence the hat. In this first episode, the stuffs I'm going to talk about are beer, jobses, and gaming. First, to kick this episode off, I'm going to pour myself a delicious beer. And tonight's beer, or this episode's beer, is the Stone Ruination IPA. Now, this is a different beer than their standard IPA. And what makes it a different beer is that it is A, higher in alcohol, and B, it is substantially hoppier. I believe the regular Stone IPA clocks in at about between 70 and 77 IBUs, which is the International Bittering Unit, and that's a scale of about 0 to 100. The more hops you have in there, the more bitter it is, and so forth. So the regular IPA clocks in at about 70 to 77. The Ruination IPA clocks in at well over 100 IBUs. And this is a very, very good beer. It is a delicious beer. But, oh, that's good. One of the things I wanted to talk about with this beer is, well, a couple of things. One, the glass it's poured into. As you all noticed, I poured it into, this is called a tulip glass, because it has the stem here at the base, and the bulbous bottom here, and then it comes up and curls a little bit, and there's a lip up there. And the reason you use a different glass than your standard pint glass is because the glass a beer is poured into will change, in general, how the beer tastes, and how it smells, and then just the overall presentation of the beer itself. Typically, with these tulip glasses, what it's designed to do is with this lip here on the end, it's designed to give you a little bit of a thicker head, which increases the aromatics and things of that nature. Unfortunately, a standard 12-ounce beer won't always hit the top of that. It probably would have if I poured it a little differently, but that's in general the reason you want to use a glass like this, because it will change how it smells, and what you taste in anything is hugely a component of how the thing actually smells. So yes, there is that. In each there is glassware for different types of beer, so each beer should be poured into its own glass, in my opinion. And that's why there is so much glassware out there, which you should all purchase and use in your drinkingness. Unless it's like a Bud Light or something, in which case you might as well just throw it away, because it's not worth actually drinking. But the second thing I want to talk about with regards to beer here is the temperature of the beer. Now, many people like the taste of a nice cold beer, especially on a nice hot day. Unfortunately, that's not really the way to actually get the most taste out of a beer. Typically, you want your beer to be served between about, it's between like 36 degrees Fahrenheit and like 48, somewhere in that area. The colder the beer is, the less you'll be able to taste, and the hotter the beer is, the foamier it'll get, and it'll just taste weird. But typically, if you're within that like 36 to 48 degree range, you will be maximizing the taste you get out of your beer. Now, some people don't like warmer beer. They're like, oh god, it's gross, or it's flat, or it's hot. And what you're actually tasting there is in general what the beer actually tastes like. So if you wouldn't drink a beer at a little bit of a warmer temperature, you really don't like the beer. You actually aren't enjoying the beer to its fullest. So that's why you wouldn't want to drink a Bud Light at about room temperature. It's because it would be fucking gross. So, yes. enjoy your beer in the proper glassware and at the proper temperature. Now, jobs. Those who follow my social medias are aware of what I do. I keep things updated pretty often because I like to hear myself talk, and I believe that what I have to say is important, and everyone should care. So, for those who are in the know, the position I applied for at the biomechanics lab, I have not heard anything back from. I had my interview, and that seemed to go well, and they wanted to do something with me. That was last week, and they said they would contact me this week. It is now the end of this week, and I have heard nothing yet. So either they're being slow, or they have decided to go a different direction, which would make me sad, but I have other options available. But I'm still also looking into trying to do internships over the summer in either LA or New York. I would like that because A, I love LA, and B, I think I would enjoy New York a whole hell of a lot. It's a city full of awesome, and I wouldn't have to drive anywhere. And I despise driving, especially in the snow, because my car is in the shop because of that currently. So there's that. Cross your fingers. It could be awesome. Yes. Now, gaming. Whee! Beer time. Now, in this category, we're going to talk about a couple different things. First, what I have been playing recently. When I have had time, and I haven't had a lot of it, I have finished up another playthrough of Mass Effect 3. This time, I actually did my first femship playthrough of Mass Effect 3. I imported a femship I had from Mass Effect 2, where she was Renegade, though not entirely Renegade. I will admit I may have hacked a save file and added a bunch of points just so I could unlock conversation options and then be able to kind of choose naturally how I respond, how I would respond, or how I believe my Commander Shepard would respond. So that was that, and then I imported that femship into Mass Effect 3, and I just finished that up. And overall, I was pretty pleased with that playthrough. I played her mostly Renegade, but I did choose some non-Renegade options to things like I chose to save the Krogan instead of siding with the Duchess, Duchess, the chick, a Solarian who's in charge of them. Yeah, I gave her up right away, and I saved the Krogan. And then I made peace in the Korrigan and the Geth. She romanced Liara, excuse me, from Mass Effect 1, and I kept that going. I did not betray Liara, though at the end, when Liara came to Femshep's room and was like, hey, we're going into suicide mission type stuff here. You want to hang out? And my Femshep was like, no, you should probably go away, because I need to be alone, because I've done some awful things, and I can't distract myself by having the carnal relations with you. So, Liara seems sad, but overall it was a good choice. And then, of course, the only ending that I will ever choose for Mass Effect 3 is Synthesis. As a transhuman, like I am, I feel that is the only correct ending of that game. And Shepard has to die. That's the way it is. Shepard cannot survive Mass Effect. That's it. That's how it goes. I do fully believe that for his or her journey to have meaning, he or she cannot survive it. Or Shepard cannot have the happily ever after if his or her journey is to have any meaning at all. And I used the example of Frodo in Lord of the Rings. At the end of the third book film, Frodo makes an observation that how do you pick up the threads of an old life after basically seeing what he is seeing, having done what he had done? And the answer is you don't. You can't. And so I believe that Shepard, having done all the things that he or she did, to be like, all right, well, now I'm going to settle down with my love interest and squirt out a bunch of kids, that isn't correct. that can't happen. That's how I feel, and so that's why Shepard has to die. Anyway, moving on. Also reinstalling SWTOR. I don't know why, but I am. I'm thinking of just starting over on a new server somewhere, because honestly, I have 2 level 50s, and the endgame in SWTOR has no appeal to me at all. Much like the endgame in World of Warcraft has no longer any appeal for me. Yeah, so I'll probably just start over and level something new and be awesome. But the most exciting news happened this week. BlizzCon 2013 was announced. I don't know if you can tell this, but I am excited because I love the shit out of BlizzCon. BlizzCon is my Christmas every year. I've gone several times now, and even though it's expensive, and I don't actually end up playing, like, I don't actually play the games that I go there to see and do things with, at least not any longer, or they regularly. It is just great, awesome, super fun time. It's just really, really fun to interact with that many nerds who have a shared interest in a company's IPs. It is ridiculous and fun, and it's in Anaheim, and there's Baja Fresh in the Hilton. It's Baja Fresh, and it's delicious. Especially when at 11 o'clock at night you are drunk and you want an $8 burrito. It's awesome. So I have air credits with United that I'll be using for my airfare. We have our plan for the hotel already in the works. We're going to split it, the cost of it, and we'll be booking soon. It's going to be awesome, and I'm excited. It's November 8th through the 9th, I believe. So, yes, it should be great fun. I encourage everyone to go, everyone to go who has ever played a Blizzard game and enjoyed it. Ticket prices will probably go up again, so, just be prepared for that. Now, that is the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed my talking about stuff, because I also enjoy talking about stuff a lot. And I'm long-winded, as you can see. This is now 21 minutes in length. I'll probably edit it down a little bit. So, until next episode, I bid you a grand farewell. Prost.